fifth generation coffee scion, Tapaswini Purnesh, charting a new growth path for the century-old pure coffee producer, Classic Coffees. What's her plan? Let's hear straight from Tapaswini herself, who's joining us from our Bangalore studio today. Tapaswini, you're fifth generation there, entrepreneur. I want to understand from you what it feels like to take over and, really take forward and lead the way at a brand that's been around for so long.
Yeah, hi Abha, thanks for having me. It's an overwhelming task. It's 5 generations and 150 years of heritage to live up to. I think the 4th generation did an amazing job. That's my father, Mr. D.M. Purnesh, and my uncle, D.M. Shankar. And they've built it beyond just being ancestral business and ancestral property to so much more, have expanded, have taken over in a global market. Our export segment is doing extremely well, and that's where our focus has been all these years. So now as a 5th generation, me, my sister Chandni, my brother Shravan have taken over to actually make it big in India. We export most of our consumption and most of our production, and we would love for most of it to be consumed within India, and I think that's where we are headed.
So what are some of the things that you're doing in order to get that going? I mean, we've all seen the coffee craze, in India and how it's developed over the last decade or so in particular. What are some of the avenues you're exploring?
Yes. So firstly, it's not, to be able to consume good coffee, you need to be able to know how to make good coffee. And I think for us, a sustainable model that we are looking at is educating people and building this coffee network itself, consumer network. So coffee education is a big route that we're taking. That is in terms of how you brew it right, where your coffee comes from, what kind of equipment you need to use for what kind of coffee, the actual flavors that we have multiple workshops where we educate our consumers on how each equipment will make the same coffee taste very different. So that's something that consumers currently are still very new to, and if again you have the world's best coffees, the most expensive coffees, if you don't know how to brew it right, you're going to go wrong and you're not going to enjoy what you're having. So that's, I think, definitely our long-term plan, educating customers. But currently, for this current need, there's such a vast need because, of sort of a vast need for variety, because we have a very globally aware audience right now, a very globally aware customer base who have traveled abroad, studied abroad, educated via so many TV programs, and so they have a sort of, already a broader spectrum of what they like besides the South Indian, in South India, besides having a regular filter coffee, and, what kind of coffees go in there, where it's grown, what varietal it is. That awareness has already come in. So to cater to that need, we're already working on a larger product range to see even what time of the day, what kind of coffee you can have, what your food habits are before we come up with a blend for you. So that's the route that we're going in, and that's how we're trying to keep up with the current customer base.
So are you also looking at getting into retail then?
We are already in retail. We have 2 of our baby brands, which were Classic Pride and Classic Mountain, which came out of passion about 7 years back. They're coffees from our own estates from Chikmagalur and Sakleshpur, one of which is an ancestral estate, but both of them date back to the 1800s. And so one is a pure Classic Pride is a pure Arabica and Robusta blend, and whereas Classic Mountain is a 100% Arabica blend. So the notes are very different. Classic Mountain can be enjoyed black. It's it's got a lot of brightness, sweetness, slight chocolatey notes, which I totally enjoy black. But Classic Pride is made keeping in mind the South Indian palate. For a pure filter coffee, it's got real richness from the Robusta, a lot of caramel and nut notes, and those are our current retail brands. But we're planning to, in the next 1 month, if you watch our space, we're planning to expand widely in our retail segment.
Okay, so what are some of the markets that are working for you, and where are some of the challenges, Tapaswini?
So the challenges, I would say, in South India is the fact that we are already a coffee drinking market. It's something that's passed on for traditions here, and there's this particular notion of how we like our coffee. So, with milk, with chicory, with lots of sugar. So that's a mindset that's very difficult to change. And I think that's where we are having a bit of a challenge, trying to change a market that already has preconceived notions of what coffee is. And that's where the coffee education comes into picture. And it's not just about educating people on how to have the coffee, but I myself am a culinary background student, and when I was studying in Europe, I fell in love with the concept of having coffee with desserts. Everybody ends their meal with a really good cup of coffee and dessert, and that concept is something that's ingrained in me, and I've fallen in love with. And that is something that we as Classic Group are trying to also encourage people to do. Try pair coffee and desserts together in particular, and different brewing methodologies, different areas that the coffees come from, all of which play a part. So we do it particularly for our coffees, but that's something that we are looking at as well. So South Indian market has been a challenge. Delhi market is an extremely good market because I think they are leaps and bounds above the rest of India in terms of their coffee consumption and how well they are, and how in tune they are with Western and other cultures in terms of coffee.
Tapaswini, as you've sort of taken on and gotten into the business and are driving it in new directions, what are some of the learnings that you've had from your experiences so far? Anything you want to share with us in terms of an entrepreneur and what perhaps one needs to keep in mind when deciding on what to do next?
So I'm a second generation entrepreneur, and one thing that my father's always driven in me is just be passionate about what you are doing, and don't give up. I've just personally have faced challenges. We've had a cafe before. We've tried different businesses. I have tried different businesses which might not have worked, but one thing that was always driven in me: don't give up. If you're passionate about something, it's eventually going to work. You just need to give it all your time. You might come across as a workaholic, but as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, I don't think it's considered work anymore. It's just pursuing your passion.
Tapaswini, pleasure having you with us today on Rising Stars. It's great to see young homegrown brands that are making their mark. Good to have you, and we have to leave it there this afternoon.
Thank you.
That's all from us on the show today. Thanks for watching.